Objective for this lesson is I can divide multiples of 10, 100, and 1000 by single-digit numbers. All right, so let me show you a couple of examples of problems you might have. I'm going to show you using a place value chart here and here. And then I'm going to show you just with the algorithm. When you're dividing or multiplying numbers that end in zeros, it really makes it easier. And we've gone over this before, but I'm going to show you again. All right, so for instance, this problem is 1,800 divided by 3. So you may wonder, well, if I'm supposed to use a place value chart, why is there no thousands place? Well, there's another way we can pronounce this number. We can pronounce that 1,800, or we can say 1,800. Because hundreds have 2 zeros after, right? So I can pronounce that as 1,800. So if I want to use a place value chart, I could simply put the number 18 in here, or I can use discs if I want to and draw 18 discs. Do that. 6, 12, 18. Right. And then I could divide them by 3, or divide those into 3 groups. 1, 2, 3 equal groups. And then my answer is, well, how many do I have in each group? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? But my answer is not 6. Think about that. It's 6 hundreds. And there's your answer. So that's one way you can do it. And this one over here, this one would be a little bit crazy to do discs, because think about it. You have 4,800, or what's another way I can pronounce 4,800 using only hundreds? Correct. It'd be 4,800 is how you pronounce that. But I don't want to draw 48 discs in there. That would be crazy. That would take a long time, which, sometimes you do have to spend a lot of time doing the work. But in this case, I could also just put the number 48 in there and divide it up by 3, almost using the algorithm. So I could do this. Let me write it a little bit lower so you can see it better. I could almost do this, right? It's not technically using a place value chart, but that's fine. And I would go back to my division and I'd say, well, how many times does 3 go into 4? Well, it goes in once. And then, 1/3 is equal to 3. So remember how I find the remainder, I subtract. Okay, and then I still have the 8 to deal with, so I bring that down. And now I can count by 3s if I want, or in this case, look, I can look over there. How many 3s go into 18? So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there you go. So 16, but remember, it's not just 16. It's 16 what? That's right, 16 hundreds. So if you know how to write 1600, great. If not, you can write 16 and then think hundreds. Hundreds have how many zeros? 100 has how many zeros? 2. And there's your answer. Okay, so I'm going to give you one to try. Actually, I'm going to show you one more way. Even though I'm supposed to be showing you with just a place value chart, I'm going to show you one more method, because I don't care which one you use as long as you can solve the problem. So let's say I have we'll use the same type of numbers. Let's say I have 3,600 divided by 3. So what you can do is, you can write it, excuse me, using the algorithm. And this might be easier to solve. You could even do write it this way, do an area model, if that's easier for you too. So let's show you with the algorithm. So this, I would just say, how many 3's go into 3? 1. How many 3's go into 6? 2. And that's it, all right? How many 3's go into 0? 0. How many 3's go into 0? 0. There's your answer. So you could do it that way. When you're dealing with zeros, it makes multiplying and division much easier. Or if you wanted to use an area model like down here, same thing. I could do how many 3's go into 3? 1. And then I have to add my 3 zeros. How many 3's go into 6? 2. And I have to add my 2 zeros. I add them together, and there you go. So there's 3 different ways you can solve these. So I'm just going to give you one to try and see how you do. Let's do 1,600 divided by 4. And you can use any method you want. You can use area model, you can use algorithm, you can use place value chart. Remember, 1,600 is the same as 1,600. So what is 1,600, or what is 1,600 divided by 4? All right, so I'm going to show you again with the place value chart, just because that's what the lesson's supposed to be about. So there's ones, tens, hundreds. So remember, 1,600 divided by 4. This one I can actually do discs. Right, I could do 16 of those. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now I want to divide them into 4 groups. So, or in groups of 4, either one works. So I can do, there is one group of 4, 2, 3, 4. So how many groups do I have? I have 4 groups of 4. But remember, 4 is not my answer. It's 4 in the hundreds place. So the answer was 400. So hopefully you got that. We'll be practicing this. Again, eventually, it doesn't matter which